Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for another hunt this week. I'm out on the beach. It's going to be low tide in about 2 or 3 hours. As you can see, wet sand is already starting to appear, and that tide can go quite far out. So I'm hoping this week I'm going to get a lot of wet sand time in. I don't normally do much on wet sand, so it'll be a bit of a learning curve for me. Shall we do it? I'm Adam. This is... oh, I've got my metal detector. There's one for the blooper reel. I'm Adam. This is my metal detector. And that, in a few hours, will be oodles of wet sand. Welcome to D-TEKT Sussex. Okay, so just getting set up down here on the wet sand. Let's get the Simplex ready to roll. So what I'm going to do is go to ground balance, and I'm just going to take it all the way down to 0. It's just something I normally do when I'm doing wet beach conditions. Just helps get rid of all the extra chatter. And I'm going to use it in park mode 2, and I'm going to drop the sensitivity down about halfway. Even 3 bars. That should get rid of all the extra chatter and rubbish, and that should take us down to probably 6 to 8 inches. Much more below that, everything's going to be filling up with water, and yeah, you're not going to find much below that. So I'd rather keep the sensitivity down, keep the chatter down, and yeah, just have a good hunt on the beach. Now, the reason I'm on the beach today is because the UK, or England rather, has just gone into another national lockdown for the coronavirus. So last time we had a national lockdown, we were not allowed under any circumstances to leave the house and go metal detecting. This time, actually I'm going to knock the sensitivity up 1, just try it on 4 just to start with. This time round we are allowed to go metal detecting. However, we're only allowed to go metal detecting in public areas. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that works either, but yeah, we're not allowed to go on private land, so I'm not in my usual farm permission. We can only go in private areas such as beaches, parks, and any other council land that we can get permission for. So back out on the beach this week. As I said before, the tide is on its way out. In fact, it's going up really fast. This particular area of the beach, the tide goes out very, very far, so I should have a lot of wet sand to play with today. And as I said in the intro, I don't do wet sand often enough. I've tried it a few times, not had a huge amount of luck. Maybe tried it for half an hour and then come off again. But today, I'm really going to stick with it and going to see how much I can find today. Well, that didn't take very long. I've got a signal coming up here. Quite a solid signal, not too deep. 89.90, fairly solid, repeatable. Now I should say I've actually knocked the sensitivity up to 5 bars now. I'm just sort of playing around with it a little bit to try and reduce the chatter and sort of get as much sensitivity as I can with the chatter, and it seems okay on 5, so I'll leave it on 5 for now. But yeah, nice strong signal coming up here. Let's have a look and see what it is. Oh, it's out. I think it's over here. No. Over there. Okay, it's in the scoop. Let's get the pinpoint on that, I think. Ho-ho! First find of the day, we have ourselves a coin. Fantastic stuff. Let's just get that out. Let's clean it off a little bit. There we are, that's a shiny one. 2p piece. There's a shiny one. 1971. Wow, look how shiny that is. Fantastic stuff. Good start. 2p piece. One word. Okay, just thought I'd make a couple of points. You can see there's a trail going down the beach that way, and then it comes back down the beach and leads to my scoop. Normally I'd have my scoop over my shoulder, but when I'm on the sand, it's quite difficult to keep in a straight line and sort of know where you've been without overlapping where you've already detected, or making big gaps in the lines you're making, especially when you get beyond the groins and get out to that sort of area down there. So what I'm doing is I'm dragging the scoop behind me that's leaving a trail, so I can keep fairly straight lines, and I know where I've been. The other thing I want to point out is, whilst there's nothing here, I have checked, this is black sand. See there and there? So what that is it's heavier particles that have gathered in a particular area, and that's something I'll be looking for on the wet sand, because it means that's where things are likely to settle. So if I spot anything like that, like black sand, or any areas where items may collect, or evidence of items collecting, that's where I'm going to concentrate. Otherwise I'll just keep doing lines up and down and drag the scoop behind me. Absolutely gorgeous morning today. Wow. So I've got another signal here. Let's give that a wave. Where is it? There it is. It's coming up in the early 40s, 42, 43. A little bit broken, but fairly strong signal. Repeatable. Not too deep. Let's give that a little go. Okay, that signal's breaking up a little bit now. Okay, whatever it is, it's very, very large. I can't quite get down to it. The scoop is kind of starting to lever it up, but it's a lot bigger than this hole is. So I think I'm just going to leave that one alone and fill this hole back in, and we'll carry on. Okay, next up, coming up, fairly solid 17. I wouldn't normally dig it, but it was a very, very solid signal. Just a little bit of aluminium foil. There we are. Onward. Okay, next signal. 77, 78, really strong. 2 chevrons down. Let's have a look and see what it is. Aha! That didn't take long. I know exactly what that is. That is a fishing weight. Yeah, no line on it, no hooks as far as I can tell. So yeah, reasonably safe. There we are. Fold those up a bit. Don't snag anything in my bag. And we'll put that in the scrap lead pot when I get back. If you save these up, most scrap merchants will take lead if you bring it in high enough quantities, and they'll give you a bit of money for it. So yeah. Right, that goes in the bag. I'll fill it in the hole. On we go. Okay, next signal coming up pretty much the same as that fishing weight, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit of wire sticking out, so I think it might be another fishing weight. Let's stick the detector down and give that wire a bit of a tug. See what we can see. I suspect it'll just come out. Yep, it's another fishing weight. There it is. Let's have a little look. Yeah, there's some hooks on there. Yeah, gonna detangle that and yeah, get it and its hooks off the beach. So number 5. So number 5. There we are. 5 and 5. Probably relates to the weight. Cool. On we go. Okay, so one of the criticisms I see a lot online of the Simplex is how chattery it is on the beach. Now, I can't hear much chatter, can you? A lot of people, they turn the machine on, they think, right, full sensitivity, let's get as much as we can, as deep as we can, as strong as we can, and they don't bother to set it up properly or ground balance it or anything like that. Okay? Yeah, you get the odd little tiny whisper, but nothing really to bother you. And when you do find a decent signal, it really does go. I mean, look, here's my scoop. You know, you're not going to miss it. And you've heard the tones I've had on my signal so far. Really strong, really obvious. And there's absolutely no chatter coming from this machine. Really isn't. So just to reiterate my settings, I'm on 5 bars of sensitivity, so just over halfway. I've ground balance down to 0, which I think is the big one, a really important thing that a lot of people miss. And I'm in park mode 2, which helps to get rid of a lot of the extra junk. There we are, nice and quiet. Okay, so I've actually been doing this beach now for about an hour and a half since I last spoke to you. Not a single signal. Nearly got to the water's edge. Tide's got about another 45 minutes left before it starts coming in again, and every signal I've found so far has been within the first sort of 10 to 15 meters of the shoreline, with this exception. One exception. So what I think I'll do is I'll dig this up, I'll just finish this line, and then I'll head to the next bay and I'll just do the first 10 to 15 meters, and then I'll do the same on the following bay, and hopefully I'll have enough time before the tide comes back in, and try and make best use of the time I've got left. But this is coming up 22, 23, not very deep. Let's have a look. Okay, it's out. I think I can see something in there. Let's have a little closer look. Set the detector down. Is that it there? Okay. Yeah, that was once in a previous life a tin can. Blimey. Well, let's get that off the beach. I'll head on to that next bay and see how we fare there. Okay, so I'm on this next bay and I've got my first decent signal. Come out around about 70, 71. It's a little bit jumpy. A little bit of depth to it. Let's have a little look and see if we can find it. Okay, signal's changing a little bit. It's dropped down into the 60s. Just as I'm getting closer. Okay, so this is like the signal I had in the other bay. There's something quite large down there. I can feel it with the scoop. Really large, definitely metallic. So yeah, I think I'll give this one up and carry on. It's about the same sort of level as the one I found on the other side. So I wonder if there's something sort of regular intervals going through here. Maybe, I don't know, old sea defences perhaps. Not sure, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get that one out today, so we'll fill in the hole and carry on. Okay, so this was coming up mid-70s. When I first dug out the first scoop, the signal vanished completely. So I used the pinpoint function and managed to just track it down, gave it another scoop and it came back, so a bit of a weird one. I can just see it sticking out of the sand here. Let's see if we can hoik that out. Looks like just a bit of junk. Let's wash it off. Ah, seems to be some kind of a tube. Aluminium tube, I think. Well, if you've got any idea what that might be from, drop me a comment down below. Otherwise, one word. Okay, next signal. Coming up late 80s, 87, 88. 3 chevrons down, so a little bit of depth. Let's have a little look and see if we can find out what that is. Yep, that's another one of those large objects. Weird. Oh well, on we go. Okay, next one, we've got a good, wow, strong signal here. Very solid 66. 2 chevrons down. Let's have a look and see what this one is. Okay, it is dead centre of the hole. Horrible feeling it might be another large object though. Let's see how deep I can get. Yeah, no, that's another large object, unidentifiable object. You just hear the scoop scraping against it. It's metal on metal. It's a large thing. Yeah, I'm not going to spend much time digging that out. We'll finish this off, fill it back in, and move on. Okay, so the tide is starting to come in now. I've come out about 15 metres on this particular beach, and I'm going to move on to the next one. The next one's got some rock formations on it, so I'll spend a little bit of time around there. They're good places where things are likely to collect, and yep, then I'll move up a little bit closer to the pebbles and do the wet sand up there, and hopefully I can do all that before the tide comes in. Let's go. Okay, so there wasn't much going on the rocks, but I did pick up a signal here. It's coming up 66, 67. As I was digging it, it dropped down to the mid 50s. It's now out of the hole, it's in here somewhere, and it's back up to 66, 67. So yeah, not sure what's going on there, but let's see if we can thin it out a little bit, track it down, and see what's there. Okay, it's in here. So put the detector down. On there. Is it this? Okay. It's a lump of aluminium, I think. With a bit of a wash. Oh yeah, bit of a tin can. A bit of can slaw. Definitely want to get that off the beach though. Look at that. Very sharp. Okay. Okay, so the tide's coming in. I'm just running out of wet sand to play with today, so I'm going to call it a day there. Good start with a coin, 2p, a couple of fishing weights, and a few little bits of aluminium tap. Just nothing to write home about really, but it was a good experience. You know, I've not done much work on the wet sand before, and yeah, I've learned quite a bit. I think next week, if the tides allow, I'll try and go a little bit further down the beach towards some of the more touristy areas, and see if we can get some wet sand action down there. Any questions or comments on the video, please drop them down below, and if you enjoyed it, hit that like button. We're nearly at 800 subscribers on the channel, so don't forget I'm going to do a giveaway when we hit 1,000. If you're watching this and you haven't hit the subscribe button just yet, make sure you do so. Subscribe button's below the video. Hit that, you'll get a little notification in your YouTube feed every single week when I release a brand new video, and if you hit the bell icon next to it, you'll get a notification to your phone as well. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I'll see you soon. Take care.